Yesterday I was talking to you about something important, the mind-body connection and why we get sick. And today I want to talk to you about a real modern sickness that most of us suffer with, and it's called addictions. It doesn't mean you're an addict, but we all know someone who is. And addiction is classified as anything that takes you away from a bad feeling and moves you to a good feeling, even if it's just for a very short time. So gambling, a gambler, in those few minutes where they think they're going to win at cards and have all the money and all their problems are solved, it's a very short-term change of bad feeling to good, but they keep doing it over and over again. That's an addiction. What are other addictions? Well, you know the obvious addictions: drink, drugs, gambling, food. And then there's shopping. Some people get addicted to actually the high of shoplifting. I have many clients addicted to the thrill of having illicit sex, even when they're happily married. And then we have the millennium addictions. Screen time. You know, eBay is an addiction. I'm addicted to winning. FaceTime, being on Instagram. So using our phone, there's so many addictions. What causes an addiction? Well, we used to believe it was a chemical imbalance in the brain, but that's not true. You know what causes an addiction? I promise you this is true. It is a lack of connection. When you cannot connect to a person, you'll connect to a needle, a bottle of alcohol, a gambling table. You'll connect to something that makes you feel good, even if it's just for a very short time. I have worked with thousands and thousands of addicts. I've never met one in 33 years who thought they were enough, and I've met thousands who say, I'm not enough, I'm so empty inside. Drinking lets me escape. Marilyn Monroe said, the only time I feel good is when I'm having sex. I just can't feel unless I'm doing that. And she went from person to person looking for connection. She was an orphan. She was disconnected very, very early on. And when we are disconnected and become an addict, studies in America say the prisoners, the tiny group that are in solitary confinement, are the hardest to rehabilitate ever because they are disconnected. I mean, live in a world where people are getting more and more disconnected. We work from home, we get groceries delivered, we don't know our neighbors. So here's the truth: disconnected people connect to something and become addicted, and we shun them. We say they're weak, they're bad. They're not, they're just fragile. They're often fragile, sensitive souls. So many artists that paint, recording artists, movie stars are addicted, and they're actually fragile people who started out often disconnected, didn't have a mom, didn't have a dad, and then what happens is they try to connect with an audience, but it doesn't work. If you want to help people not be addicts, connect them more. And this is so important because this isn't just about, you may have a niece, a nephew, a godchild, a neighbor, a friend. You have no idea the power, the help that you can bring about by understanding someone who's an addict and just guiding them and steering them through connection to being free of it. If you just do that, you've done something amazing. That's why addicts love AA, because they go to a place and they connect. Oh, I thought I was the only person in the whole world that sold their kids Doll's House for drink or drugs. And I met someone else who sold their kids teddies, and I thought, oh, I feel better now because you're like me and I'm like you. I always felt like I was such a bad person. So the success of group therapy is the connection. So you may be addicted to something very simple like your phone, your computer. I now work with 7-year-olds who are addicted to their iPads, whose parents cannot get them off it. I work with 12-year-olds who are anorexic or addicted to food or laxatives. It's a real alarming situation, but it's because they're not connected. So I can promise you the one thing that will make you happy is people. When I work with people who say, I'm addicted to shopping, I go shopping every day and I get high on shopping. I'm like, well, you know what? Stop buying all that stuff. Open your cupboard and go, hello, I've got 20 pairs of shoes. If I buy another pair, am I happy? No. You've already got all candles and cushions, and if they made you happy, why do you need more? People make you happy. Invite your friends over. Start to swap all this stuff, and then you won't be an addict. Don't open your fridge and eat boxes and boxes of candy because you're an addict. Invite people over, eat with them, get connected. It stops addictions. So here's your exercise for today. I want you to look at an addiction you may have. Sometimes people are even addicted to running, to exercising. They run up and down the stairs in their house because it changes their feeling. And I want you to do that in a group. Do yoga in a group, do running in a group, work out with other people, even if it just means having 3 workout buddies and going to the park together, because connection is what you need in life. Let's say you're addicted to shopping. I have clients who shop every day. They don't even take the items out of the bag. It's in the back of their wardrobe, but they need more and more stuff because the stuff is a filler for the emptiness in here. If you're addicted to shopping, let's try swapping. Invite all your friends over. Put all your stuff out. Get them to bring their stuff and swap. But spend an evening connecting with other people. If you're addicted to gambling, again, get connected to people. Don't do the things that isolate you. And then look back in your life. When did I become disconnected? Oh, I remember my mum was never there, and I used to go to my room and I'd have soda and candy and screen time. And what do I do now? I have soda, candy, and I lose myself in Netflix. And it is an addiction because I have stuff to do, and yet I watch a whole box set and another one. So again, you need to get connected to people. And another very good thing to do if you're about to put another cupcake in your mouth, drink another glass of wine, max out your credit card, is to go, oh, I'm doing this because I'm disconnected. I could be connected. That's why all those groups work. And it's great if you're an addict to go online and join Al-Anon or AA or NA or all the different ones. But while you can have online groups that support you, there is nothing quite as good as connecting to people. So join real groups, reading groups, walking groups, hiking groups, dog walking groups. It doesn't matter what kind of groups. Get out of your addiction by connecting. And if you have family members who are addicts, do not ostracize them. They can never come in the house because they drink. That's the worst thing you can do. Get them in the house, connect them, love them. They're fragile, and the more you can embrace them and help them and connect them, the less likely they are to run back to their addiction. This doesn't happen overnight. It's not the easiest thing. When you understand what lies beneath addictions, it's a game changer. I have had alcoholics stop drinking like that. I've had people addicted to cocaine who stopped overnight. I've worked with heroin addicts who have stopped overnight and said, you know what? I don't even miss it. I don't know what you did, but you did something that made me like myself. I hated myself. I was full of self-hatred. I just lived alone. And then I connected. And then one of my clients told me a beautiful story. He said, I was an addict, and I found this puppy on the street that had been given Valium because it was too young to be part of its mum. And I took it to the vet, and I had to wean it off drugs. And I couldn't take drugs. I had to look after this little thing. It sleeps in my bed. He loves me. I love him. From the day I got that puppy, I've never used drugs because I know 2 things. If I use drugs and get picked up by the police, they'll take him off me. I'll never see him again. If I take drugs and go to hospital, they'll take him off me, I'll never see him again. The connection with a dog stopped him being an addict. So what do you think a connection with a person can do? So that's your homework for today. Write out any addiction you have or someone else that you know has, and focus on how connecting will turn that around for you, for them. And that's how you make a massive difference. It's very important you share this with the tribe, because you have no idea at all how many people in that tribe are disconnected, struggling, maybe single mothers at home with their kids, or people who are away from their family and really need to feel connected. Just think, if you could connect with someone, you could stop them being an addict. And remember, if one person on the planet breathes a little easier because of you, your life has meaning and purpose. In the Quran it says if you change one person's life, it's as good as changing the life of the whole world. Go into the tribe, connect, help people who are addicted, allow them to help you. This is really powerful, exciting stuff. So tomorrow we're discussing something that I find really revolutionary. It's changed the lives of my clients and all the graduates I train, and that is the role, function, purpose, intention, and job of your illnesses. Your illnesses have a job, your ailments and aches and pains have a job. We're going to identify it and overcome it tomorrow. It's really exciting. See you there.